Hello.
Hello.
Good morning, Syl. Good morning,
Yes.
everyone who is watching us and with us live here, and will watch us recorded. So, good morning and welcome to Moreness-Culture. This is what Syl's has been sharing with me. Just a nuance details makes a huge difference in our understanding and awareness. When he was saying that, okay, it's yes, it is a paradigm also, but it's also a Moreness culture, and it hits me really big time. I was
Well,
thinking about that what's the difference and why. Again, the emphasis, first thing, and also the preciseness. As we go, as of course, as much as we can be precise in anything, this is how we makes it more clear for us. And by making it clear for us, we make it makes our intent more clear, which gives us clarity of intent. What I really, really want, what I'm really, really saying, what I'm saying and what I mean is all same and exact and precise and aligned. No confusion, no distraction, no diversions, no difference. And this is a practice and the foundation of Nobelia way of being. When
yes.
you say things with absolute clarity of intent. If I'm saying something, I mean it. I truly mean that. Not just saying for the sake of saying, not saying for any, okay, kind of like creating any illusion, creating any confusion, misconception. No, especially Biella. Of course, Biella is like really a pinnacle for me that okay, she
Uh,
shares things when she responds to other people, like in Ask Biella book. You can read that. When she's responding,
well,
she's taking care of like every nicks and corners of everything when she's addressing things. And if she's missing and if she's not paying attention, even that is deliberate.
well,
But whenever and whatever she is paying attention to, you can see that she is addressing every single point of it. Sometimes it seems like that, okay, oh, she's going in too much details for just for that point, but it is necessary for the
mm,
clarity of intent. And without clarity of intent,
yes,
everything
yes,
else is just meaningless.
exactly.
It is actually living randomly. If you don't have a clarity of intent, you are living randomly, which is complete stark opposite of deliberate living.
Yeah,
That's why clarity of intent is really, really crucial. And when Syl shared about like it's a moreness culture, like wow, yes, it is.
yeah,
Why to be so thorough about this? Why to pay attention to even these nuanced details? Because
yeah,
this is how we make our choices, deliberate choices. And
yeah,
that's how we own that. The more we think about the details, the more we get more and more and more clarity about the concept or any idea. And that clarity actually make it very easy and obvious to choose something. When we are choosing something and we are going into details, then we have absolute clarity. This is how we own and take responsibility of our choices. That's why
yes,
clarity of intent is so crucial, so important for deliberate living, that to go
it
into
is.
detail, look every side of it,
Yeah,
and really really understand. Try to, of course, as much as you can, try to understand what you are choosing, and then once you will get into details, there is no excuse left now.
yeah,
You still doing that, it means that you are taking full responsibility. There is no way back now. Oh, I was
yes.
not aware. How can you be not aware? Because you were going into so much details. And that's why we are calling it Moreness culture more dominantly than
Right.
Moreness paradigm.
But
And
a culture is smaller, and and
yes,
and a culture is a subsystem within the paradigm. In the
exactly.
case of mourners, it's both a culture and a paradigm.
Yes, yes. I'm just using it because I'm not
Yeah,
going to into the details because this is something your
right.
subject and
It's
you are going to go
right,
into the
right.
deep.
Exactly,
Yes.
because it's easier to connect with a culture than it is to connect with a paradigm.
Yes, yes. And that was my second question because I was just like, okay, my question to you. I was about to ask, because I was just sharing that, okay, why it is important to pay such attention into details, like why using this word
Connectivity.
and why. Yes, because words are not just randomly said words, it's not gibberish, these are conceptions.
Yeah.
And you cannot be careless about conceptions, because they are going to be the foundation and the bedrock of your choices, your deliberate
Why?
choices. And your deliberate choices are going to be, of course, your future, your life. At some point, there, the future is going to be your life now. And this is, if you want to have a deliberate living, if you want to have a piece of being, you have to start paying attention to your choices, from the very smallest, tiny, trivial,
Exactly.
mundane thing to the most abstract
Yeah.
concept in your
Yeah.
life. We have
Yeah.
to start paying attention. Yes, it sounds like very difficult and very energy consuming in the beginning, but
Yeah.
once it just set into your system, once it becomes your system, your life system, then it's all easy. It's like, duh, this is how you
Yeah.
will operate. This is how you are going to project. This is how you are going to deal with life and live your life. And this is something we, yes, in the beginning, everything is difficult. Everything is alien. Everything is too much of energy and attention consuming. But just a tiny bit of sacrifice of your comfort zone can give us so much freedom, because ultimately I have experienced, and of course I am experiencing gradually more and more and more, that how less energy consuming this deliberate choice and deliberate living is.
Oh yeah.
It
Oh,
sounds and it
massively.
feels in the beginning that, okay, oh yes, it's a shortcut, I can just do that. But in the long run and the long term, it takes whole lot of energy, because of
Oh yeah.
stress, because of regret,
Oh
because of
yeah. Oh
confusion,
yeah. Oh yeah.
because of
And
shoulds.
especially because of
Yes.
misplaced emphasis.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for adding that. Misplaced emphasis. Yes. And it is a whole lot of, like, really, I cannot even compare it, because the amount of energy you are going to invest in making deliberate choices by being aware and being really paying attention to details, as compared to what it is going to cost in future, your random choices, it's actually, it is going to cost your life. So
Yeah.
there is no comparison even. Yes,
Yeah.
some energy, some effort, some sort of discipline, some sort of, okay, yes, being thorough. It sounds like, it feels like, okay, oh, now I have to do this, but this is going to save and change your life in a really, really big way. So as long as we are moving forward with this sharing of Ask Biella, Biella is giving so much into these responses she has been sharing, and I'm so thankful for that. And this is my thought of the day, that I feel gratitude. I
Yeah.
feel really grateful towards universe, towards Biella,
Yes.
and
Yes.
towards Syl, and
Fantastic.
towards people who are joining us.
Yeah.
So thank you
Yeah.
so much for being here. Syl, please elaborate more about this.
You said it all, Beena. I want to start reading the story. See, I'm screen sharing
Okay,
already.
okay.
What you saw?
No,
I
you are
thought you
not.
saw.
No, you are not.
Oh, oh,
Yes.
I clicked on it. Oh, okay.
And that was the cue for me that, okay, you want to add more. And I said, okay, so
Oh, no, no. Sorry. I thought I'd screen shared, but it didn't. I clicked and it didn't go. So I had to do it again. All right. You see a very thoughtful potential Biella here. Now this actually is more for the Biella series. Yeah, yeah, it's just nice art, but in the Biella series, because there Biella's on Nobelia, as Ask Biella, she's part of this world. From that world, obviously. But this is very common, this type of thing, yes, where this elaborately looking different. And the point is not
yes,
to look pretty or get attention, but it is appreciations, art, beauty, but mostly it is to break expectations. When you see somebody who's like this and they are comfortable being so thoroughly different, then the implication, our brains are very good at implication. Obviously, this person is actually different inside. Yeah. To be able to wear something that's truly out there, very different, very exotic, very unusual. Yeah. And be completely comfortable and not care what it looks like. That that says a lot about the person. And that puts you in a box that's not in the regular culture. See? And of course, now you can say, wow, if this is not done for vanity and ego, why is it being done? Well, celebration of beauty, queuing of otherness, putting in the box of other, moreness, just for moreness reasons. Wow. And if you have a known group of people, a culture where they all exhibit this, and no two look the same, right? They all look completely different. And in that kind of if it's part of that culture, it makes that culture very easily identifiable as, oh, they are from this Moreness culture, right? Now, you don't have to, of course, but it's just very useful in terms of, in the greater story, since there's a tweak to this particular culture. And because the new nobility is all of them belong to the new nobility corporation. And, but that's like, wow, but it is a culture that transcends. It's not, there's no such thing as a corporate culture. They don't even have a typical structure, hierarchy. None of that exists, right? It's mostly randomly assigned whoever's going to be in charge. And they're not even fully in charge necessarily. It's just more like responsibility. They never tell anybody to do anything. They always ask, right? That's it. Always you ask. And but I'm just saying, so
Yes.
there's a
Yes.
specialness to the new nobility culture in the story being part. So this look is part of their branding, yeah, because they do
Hmm.
make money because they're a B corporation. They make money in order to use it for good. Yeah, so they are like a hyper. Um, Charity is not the right word. They do it to do good, which is different to charity. Yeah.
Hmm.
Charity doesn't always do good. Anyway, it's a long story,
Yes.
but it's just fun
Yes.
to see this a little bit. That's why we do the readings. You get extra stuff that you wouldn't get in the book. It mentions that Biella is, the central character, the main character of the Biella series. And so Nobelia culture, it mentions that, but not in detail like this. That's, I mean, even in the book, it's mentioned and it's explained, but it's a side story that can have more to it. Anyway, I like this picture. It's very cool. All right, it's a very
It
thoughtful
is.
picture because the question is asked from somebody that we care about and very dear to us. It's a very earnest question,
Hmm.
and I don't. Where's Norma? I haven't seen Norma today yet. I think Norma's not online. Let's see. Oh, it's not what I want. Anyway, we'll read in a moment. I just wanted to see where Norma is. Come on now. Why are you giving me this stuff now? I don't know. Oh, because I'm logged in. Yeah. Complications. It's from the sharing. It takes me to that. Okay. Open in a new tab. Just, sometimes Facebook makes things difficult for no good reason whatsoever. Yeah, I see Norma's not online. So. All right. Norma doing Sunday things. She's probably visiting family or something. All right, brilliant. Good. Will you read, please, Beena?
Yes. Okay. Before going there, uh, somehow Biella or me copying each other. The thoughtfulness, the gesture I can see in my picture. This is
Yes,
the way. This is the
yes,
way
yes,
I
yes.
looked
You
at.
see, Beena is, yeah.
Yes. Okay. I do have this thing I inherited from my father.
Oh,
When you are thinking,
yes.
just put your hand and then okay, sitting like that. Even
Love
you
it.
are holding your head is burdened as like head weight also that okay, I don't want to even pay attention to this.
Yeah,
Now I'm completely relaxed and
yeah.
listening.
Oh.
Yes. Okay. Anyway.
I'm
Right.
just trying to practice it. Oh,
Yes.
by the way, see, I'm
Yes.
enjoying my shirt
Yes.
today too.
Oh
I don't know.
yes,
It
colorful
matches
shades.
Biella somehow.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, bigger mind. Need your advice on something. How best to view things like cruelty to animals. Wow. Dear
NB,
NB.
most important.
Yes. Okay, now.
Nota bene.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know. I know now. Okay. Cruelty to animal is the external expression of lack of love. Those people don't love themselves and take it out on the world. The cruelty is a reminder from the universe and God for us to love ourselves. Otherwise, we can end up like that. I know God is important to you, so I'll share. Us is to use it as a lever to be better. Okay, where it is? I just lose a thread. Okay, to do better. I'm going to. The way to deal with it, thus, is to use it as a lever to be better, to do better, to change, to love ourselves, and then be able to love those poor people being cruel also, and with love. We can bear anything, even the cruelty to those poor animals. Also, that cruelty is demonstration of God's love for all of us, including the animals. How can this be a demonstration of supreme love? It is because God, universe loves us so much that it is willing to let us be horrid and suffer horribly in order to learn the most important lesson of all. And that is that we do have choice, capital C choice, true, real choice, which includes the choice not to be. We are not forced to remain alive, no matter how much our instincts say otherwise. To be able to act against our instincts is a supreme accomplishment of awareness and choice. And also, most important, as instinct is an dead, evolutionary dead end and goes against freedom. Oh, wow. And also, most important, as instinct is an evolutionary dead end and goes against freedom.
Yes, instinct is an evolutionary dead end. Why? Why? Because instinct says you do it this exact way and that's it. You automatically do things in a particular specific way. Yes? Which means if circumstances change and you aren't able to do it in that exact way, you now can't do anything.
Hmm.
It happens in the animal world. I think I mentioned this before, where the browsers, right, when you browse, you're eating things that grow right on the earth. Yes.
Hmm.
And grazers, they have a little higher, like from bushes, right? And I forget what things like to eat very high up. But anyway,
Hmm.
and so there was a drought, and all the food on the ground got eaten. But those animals, their instinct was just to eat from the ground, and they couldn't lift their heads up 6 inches to eat from the bushes, and they died. It's just amazing, right? So it's only being able to do things in that particular way when it gets you stuck in something that, yes, it's working, but if the situation changes and that particular thing doesn't work anymore, then you're lost. Yeah. You're not upgrading. You're always doing the things in the same way. Yeah, there may be tiny little changes over time, but you don't really. They come about more by accident than by intent, right? So see what I mean by evolutionary dead end? Because it goes against
Yes.
freedom. When you're doing things because of instinct, do you have a choice? No, it's no deliberateness. Evolutionary dead end. Makes sense? Yeah.
Yes.
Very powerful point. Very, very powerful. I think I need to put this in my quote file.
Please do that. This is
Yeah,
it
it's
hits me big time, really big time. I was like very speechless for a
yeah,
few minutes. I was thinking about
yeah,
this. That instinct is an evolutionary dead end
yeah,
and
yeah,
goes against freedom.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I think I might change this to say
Mhm.
instinct is an evolutionary dead end as it's against freedom. Just uh, just a little bit more fluid. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, as it's anti-freedom. And who are going to attribute this to, Beena? I think fine. Yeah, fine, Noble
Young
or
man.
Biella.
Young man.
Wait, what? Oh, the young man. Oh, wow. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Because okay, because it's not about just the refined awareness. This is
Yeah,
really a deep thing, and very straight.
yeah,
It's not like
yeah,
fine noble for me. Fine noble
yeah,
is someone like who will like, oh yes, you get it
yeah,
sometimes get distracted a bit in the beauty of sharing from fine noble. But
yeah,
this is pretty raw, like the young man. No, right away. Very strong words, but so
yeah,
precise. Love this. Love, love,
yeah,
love, love this. Okay.
yeah, yeah. And it's so crucial in this context to understand, right? Because Biella's talking about this incredible love from the universe or from God. She shifts to God because NB, that's her language, right?
Hmm.
Biella knows NB in this case, right? And so she's sharing to somebody that she knows, and she knows this is appropriate. Yeah? And she says it there in the beginning. But it's a very revolutionary point, this, to understand about real true choice. And uh,
Yes.
now when you have instinct in there, and you think about, it all clicks, right? And now suddenly the thing falls together. So it's a crucial element in the explanation that adds, but it's transformative. It's a really big deal. All right, please continue. Maybe read that again. Yeah,
Yes, I want to. Okay.
yeah,
If God removed that suffering, sorry, no, 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 from that. Okay. To be able to act against our instincts is a supreme accomplishment of awareness and choice. And also, most important, as instinct is an evolutionary dead end and goes against freedom. Thus,
yeah.
God loves us so much that God is willing to see us suffer in order to learn. If God removed that
I,
suffering,
sorry, one second, one second. The sentence before that is actually important. We are not forced to remain alive, no matter how much our instincts may say otherwise. And people do kill themselves. Yes. I don't know how common, or even if there are recorded instances of suicide in animals. I doubt it.
they do.
Okay. Well, then animals have some choice too. I've
Yes,
never heard of it. I've never heard of it, but there's many things in the animal kingdom that we're not aware of because they're not convenient to share. Yeah.
it is sometimes okay. I was thinking about uh the stray cat, street dogs, and other animals and species around you. Mostly, I see them dead by some external reason, like an
Yeah.
accident, fight, or something
Yeah.
like that. But a natural death is very okay, almost zero in my experience. That okay, or animal just died because of this. No, they have something happen to them. Like okay, yes, they got accident, and then of course after an injury they couldn't survive, hit by car, something happened.
So the natural death, and I asked one of my teacher about this, that why I don't see this natural death to these type of animals, and what he says that people animals are aware of their time, and and they go into places mostly, like, okay, sometimes uh, in a pit in a ground, or in a cavity in a tree or something like that. He told me about many things, and he says that, okay, because they are aware of it. And then also
Oh,
what he says that animals are different species, so you have a soul. Okay, according to them, I'm not saying it is right or wrong, I'm just saying that according to them, animals have a different awareness. They do have, but they don't have a soul. Okay, they have life, but they don't have soul. That's why they are different than human. Humans have life and they have soul also. That was their understanding, and they were saying that the cruelty to you is different than the cruelty for animals. They do have awareness, which we can see now, and as awareness is contagious, we can see a lot in animals' behavior now. They are learning, they are becoming aware, they are showing emotions also. And maybe it can be just a mimic also there, because they learn that how to actually get things done by human. They're human, so they are learning. I'm not being rude to animals, but this is how they are learning from the patterns and behaviors. So this could be because now you are treating them differently, so they are learning quickly, and they are learning to do a few things, to show some gestures also. But the ancient uh, understanding from East is that animals have a different way of being. They have life,
wow.
they have awareness, but they don't have soul. And this
Yeah.
makes a lot and huge difference between human understanding of pain, love, and other things as animals. Because animals are okay. It's a lot of detail. I don't want to go there again.
Oh, wonderful, Beena. Keep going, keep going, keep going. From
Okay.
here, from here.
Yes. Okay. We are not forced to remain alive. We are not forced to remain alive, no matter how much our instincts may say otherwise. To be able to act against our instinct is a supreme accomplishment of awareness and choice. And also, most important, as instinct is an evolutionary dead end and goes against freedom. Thus, God loves us so much that God is willing to see us suffer in order to die. If God removed that suffering, then God is also removing choice. And when choice is removed, so is awareness. And if awareness and choice are removed, so is freedom. God, of course, can only want the most absolute best for us, which is, of course, to also be God or one with God. And for that, we need awareness. So we can freely choose, and thus it's all real and meaningful. If the choices are in true choices and thus free, then nothing we are and do is real. Oh, wow. If the choices are in true choices and thus free, then nothing we are and do is real. So
Oh,
we have to be free to make bad choices, like being
oh,
cruel to animals and ourselves.
oh.
Okay, my personal understanding, I want to understand that what actually uh, here the questioner is calling cruelty. What is the definition of cruelty here? I know it's a lot
Causing
of factors.
deliberate pain is cruelty.
Okay,
You think of it that way.
okay.
or deliberate suffering. You know, you're intentionally causing suffering, you're being cruel. Yeah.
Like by not being vegan or vegetarian, like eating animal.
No. That's not cruelty.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I mean, you know, you're not doing this in order to cause pain.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Cruelty is wanting to cause something else pain.
Oh yes. Okay. Love
Different.
beyond understanding.
One second.
Yes.
I want to add in something here. Um, yeah, I'll just put it as a quote. Yes. Uh, yes. Will you read that, please, Beena? Beena?
Yes.
I just added it in as a quote there.
If we see other behaving horribly and understand the horribleness, this save us from needing to go through that experience ourselves in order to understand horribleness. Oh wow.
If we
If
see
we
others
see
behaving
others
horribly,
behaving,
and
yes,
yeah, read again, please, because there was some grammar there that was missing.
yes. If we see others behaving horribly and understand the horribleness, this saves us from needing to go through that experience ourselves in order to understand horribleness. Wow.
It's an incredible thing. And in this context here of we are talking about the supreme love of the universe, of God, of Allah, of Buddha, Krishna, whoever you want to think, right? Lilith, some people think. Yeah. No matter who, doesn't matter where it's coming from, or yourself. If you say I'm the agent of it all, there is no other deity. Which the new nobility to them when they say God, universe, they might all be saying extension of yourself, all part of the same paradigm. Uh, but when we understand this, what a gift! Yes, what a gift! So somebody else is doing something that I'm being saved from doing. Again, that
Mm.
angel logic, right? You have people who love you so much, they are willing to do something really horrible to save you the horror of doing it yourself. Of the two choices, I'd much rather observe and see it elsewhere, even though it's really horrible, than be the one doing that. Yes, that's a worse horror, correct? Right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a huge quote here. It's a huge, huge quote. Let me add that to my quote file. Just a very big deal. Yeah. Yeah. Right, Beena? Big
Yes.
deal.
Exactly. It is a big
Very
deal.
big deal.
It is
Right?
a big
This
deal.
one I think I'm going to attribute to Biella. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. No, not Nobel, Noble. Yeah, come on. There we go. All right. Please continue, Beena. Please continue.
Somehow, okay, the screen was all messed up. Okay. I'm going to read this again from the
Yeah.
code.
Oh, yeah.
If we
Well,
see
read as
others
many times
behaving,
as need. Oh, sorry. I was going to say always. Our
yes,
reading here is to read to comprehend, not just to comprehend up here, but to incorporate, to bring it into the physicality, to know it. This is what knowing means, not intellectual physical.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
Wow. 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 I want to put that as a quote. That's a very, very powerful point right there. Yes. I never expressed it that exact way before.
Yes.
Ah, I like that. I like that. To know is to know with the entirety of the body, including mind. There's that implication here, right? I mean, the first part of the quote is enough, but to say including mind, it almost says mind is it's not like the major part. It's like right.
Yes.
It almost minimizes mind to say there's more. I think that's very cool. Um, I'm going to attribute this to Coffee Noble,
Okay.
just for difference. That's for Noble.
Yes.
No, not Noble Ideal. Just there we go. That's just for a little bit of difference, because he's very specialized. But he knows with his entirety of his body, it's not just mind, right? So that's why he came to mind there. And I don't have too many quotes from Coffee Noble, and I like to flesh them out a little bit. All right, please continue. Please continue.
Okay,
Lovely.
I just want to say something more about it for my own awareness. Uh,
Hmm.
this thing of knowing something with entirety in your body also, as you very smartly actually emphasize on by putting including mind. Like, okay, the emphasis, the real thing is not mind actually. Knowing is different. Very cool code, okay. But this the most important thing for me is when we really, really know it and we have it in our body also. It is
Exactly.
going to it is going to train
Exactly.
not only our emotions and feelings, but also our
Yeah.
responses as a result, as a consequence. So
Yeah.
a person who really knows something, like, okay, in this case, we are just talking about the awareness or deliberate living. If you really, truly incorporate it, if you're able to incorporate it in your system, in your body, then your reactions and emotions and feelings are also going to be according to deliberate living. You're not going to have random emotions and feelings. No, you will not be triggered by other forces which can create feelings in our body. Feelings are just a reaction of external circumstances and situation, and they are not going to be random, which is right now the case with everyone of us. My feelings are a reaction towards the external circumstances and situations. So when deliberate living is going to be completely incorporated in my system, in my life, in my being, in my physical body also, which is the house or the generator of the feelings and emotion, then my feelings are going to be deliberate. My choice, my emotions will not
Yes.
be something like, okay, I'm going not, I will not be a slave to my emotions and my feelings anymore. It makes a whole lot of sense to me now.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
knowing something in entirety and establishing into our system, into our body also, makes deliberate living as a way of being, as the real, true, basic of life. Wow. Then my emotions, then now that this is what Nobelia living is, then even your emotions and your feelings are going to be deliberate. Love this. Wow.
Yeah.
And is missing.
Wow. Okay. Please continue reading, Beena.
Okay.
That's
Love
so far.
beyond understanding. Love beyond understanding. That freedom to be horrid is thus a testament to the incredible love God has for you. Wow. That freedom to be horrid is thus a testament to the incredible love God has for you. God is willing to abide horridness and cruelty and suffering, all because of that love for us, which demands the absolute best for us, is the biggest picture possible.
In the
Our
biggest
soul,
picture.
okay, for us in the biggest picture possible. Our soul context. Okay, our soul context. That's it. In
No,
that
no.
context,
Hang on. No. You right.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Now I get.
Which demands the absolute best for us in the biggest picture possible. Our soul context.
Yes, now it makes sense. That was a full stop here. So the
I
absolute
thought so.
best for us. Yeah, that's why I was like, okay, no. uh, in that context, in the context of eternity, in the context of eternity, a lifetime is a blip, a moment, and thus a moment's suffering is nothing compared to an eternity of moreness. So when you see cruelty and horridness, just keep that big picture in mind and ask, what do I still need to learn? What do we as a species need to learn? Do we need to change our entire paradigm to find a replacement for the superiority paradigm which so easily leads to such horrid behavior? How can I apply Moreness-Living now?
Oh, no. How
Biella.
can I apply Moreness-Living now?
Okay, how can I
Difference.
apply Moreness-Living now?
Right. Comma makes a difference there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Biella.
Heart. I gotta read like the AI reads it, right? That's how the AI was. Biella, heart.
Heart. Okay.
Yeah. I love this. Doesn't matter if you're stepping into eternity, you're about to become one with God, you've got to have your handbag with you. Very important.
Love this.
Yeah,
I,
attention to detail. So that made me think, though. I wonder if in the future humans would evolve to have pockets in their body.
oh wow.
Wouldn't that be great?
So what we will call ourselves? Humanguru? Like kangaroos?
You what? You call us what?
Humanguru?
You mangrove. I'm not sure I understand.
Like kangaroos?
Brilliant. I missed that. You mangroves. Yeah, yes, very much. But yeah, look, I mean, there is, I forgot about the kangaroos. There's actually example of having a pocket. Yeah. But I was thinking and I can see how this could happen through plastic surgery. Yeah.
But
That people
we
say,
have
man,
convenient. But
I
we have
well also
convenient
because
options
we
for
we
that.
are always with our phones and wallet and a credit card. We always need to have stuff, and women need to have other stuff too. So I mean, heaven forbid you should go out without your lipstick, of course, right? It's just no, and a hairbrush, stuff like this, right? So all right, I'm teasing a little bit, but my point is, that we never go out without stuff. Now, maybe over time we'll develop differently, but there's certainly a possibility that people would say, that way I never forget it. I just put it in my pouch, that's it. It seems sensible to me, right?
Maybe the technology will improve so much that we
Oh,
don't need to
absolutely.
carry we
For
don't need
instance,
to carry things.
oh, no, I agree. And on Nobelia, it already has, because instead of having a headset, they have an implant, right? I mean, especially in book 3,
Yes.
where Biella shows them virtual reality, and it's just a wonderful story. It's more fun story than, yes, there's of course lots of moreness involved too. There always is, but it's a big focus, and they have wonderful adventures. But with the implant, for instance, it's she can either do like internally with her eyes control things, but also with gestures, right? Like she goes, and that opens the door. Right? Now it's opening the
Yes.
door in virtual reality, but there's no reason that it can't also, and it does for them, that that you're in your own apartment, for instance, the tip in your head, the implant, it's connected to your gestures, right? So when you're doing something and combines with the eyes where you're looking, right? I'm moving the door. It's like, duh, see, I'm opening the door. Right? There's many things that it's technologically feasible right now. Just takes that,
Yes.
intent to do
Yes.
it. I mean, it's a very simple thing, really, technologically. I mean, once you've got this done, and they're already doing it with the implants, like for people who are impaired, right? And
Yes.
in many ways, and they type with their minds, for instance, yeah, that are paralyzed. But again, if you sitting and you like, you want other ways to control things around you, just have to add it to the gestures, right? I mean, not just control electronics, but actual physical things. Now, that would have to have some corresponding thing, but there's no reason why. And you see it in some movies, where you've got a barcode that's tattooed, and that barcode is the same thing as your credit card, and you just swipe it over the barcode reader. This we can do right now.
Yes.
That same code that's on your credit card, this can just be tattooed on you. Yeah, that's it.
Hmm.
And very simple, right? I'm never without my thing, and it's biologically connected, right? So, I mean,
Hmm.
especially if you tattoo it with a bit more than just regular ink, like you have that hologram in there and all this, right? Where this becomes something that has biological little microbes and nanites in there, so that it has to be used by you, yeah, and you only. It can't be stolen, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know,
So,
okay, for what reason, but maybe because of technology. It just reminded me, and I want to share something really huge for me later after this live. But right now, I saw a video, a short video. A woman was sitting in a train or a bus, and she had that lunch box. So she opened it and she shared that, okay, what's inside. So everything was cold because the tissue paper on top of that, or a napkin, was completely dry. And she closed that lid again. It was just a normal lunchbox type of, not a metal one, but like the delivery thing, simple. And then she scratched a tiny little sticker, like half an inch sticker on the side of the base of that box. That sticker was attached to a thread, a string, and she pulled it out. And that was like maybe 1 feet or more than 1 feet long string. And then she pulled it out and then she waited for like 10 seconds and then opened the same box again. And her food was warm so that the napkin was
Yeah,
not
yeah,
only,
yeah.
yes, so it was, and they were saying that Japan is living in like really 2073 or something. These are simple things. They are
It's very simple to do. It just requires the
already
intent to do it.
there.
Yeah,
Japan
yeah,
is really exactly practicing and exercising quite a revolutionary ideas, which
yeah.
seem like really Oh, wow, is it possible? But they are doing this. So I'm going to share with you after live. So please do remind me because it's been really on my mind, and it's like third time I'm getting now this the Japan thing again and again in my life. Now it is really a crucial point to share with you. Okay. Anyway,
Very
let's
cool,
get
Beena.
back to the Biella and the as
Yes,
you mentioned, as she mentioned in this that as in comparison to eternity, this life is just a blip. And
exactly,
this can be
exactly.
really a huge concept
Yeah,
and change our
yeah,
conceptions and concepts about life and the horribleness of life. In our childhood, when we start learning things, the first experiment or the first tool we were using was a touch sense. We were trying to taste everything and we are trying to touch everything. Visuals,
yeah,
yes, were
yeah.
important, but not exactly as important as the touch and the taste sense. And we had no understanding of what to not put in our mouth and what to not touch. And sometimes some children they do get burned, they do eat horrible things, and they do a lot of things which really cause them pain. But it is not deliberately just assumed as that okay it's a deliberate pain and cruelty and all that by God or universe. Why not human coming exactly as learned and aware as they need to be to survive in this world? Nobody asks this question. We do take our childhood as a wonderful learning experience. And what Biala is saying here, if we take our full whole life on this planet Earth as just a blip or the precursor or the
Exactly.
just trailer of the eternity life we are going to have, we will accept it like, okay, yes, okay, we were learning, so that pain was okay, nothing. Okay, yeah, okay, yes, it was part of it. I
And
was too naive.
exactly.
I was too curious to experiment all those things. I was
Yeah,
too naive to understand the difficulties involved or attached with that.
yeah.
It changes everything now because as human and of course animal also, I have seen many videos of animals with their children or also their kittens or babies are also doing a lot of nonsense things according to them.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
I saw mama bear just snapping the cat also biting and throwing them out and all these things to give them lesson, to
Yeah.
learn, to protect themselves for not getting
Yeah.
involved into these things. So it is what Biela has shared here is actually really an eye opener. Okay, yes, okay, now I understand how it just all makes sense now.
Yeah. Oh, it's a huge point. Also, you were saying that, this point about our lives being a blip in time. It
Yeah.
is why patience is a superpower. Because when we have patience, we are able to transform time. Yes. What is
Oh,
impatience but a
yes.
stress where you are unable to deal with the time now, you want to be in the future, correct? Patience gets you there. In other words, patience lets you see and react and behave with things as if they were a blip. Doesn't matter. Yeah? Make sense in this context? Patience being a superpower?
Yes. 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 I was laughing because I am the most reluctant one to accept that, okay, yes, patience is. I always
But
try
now
to
you've got
avoid
a
that.
different reason for it. Now you've got a different reason for it. Yes.
Yes, that's why I
Yeah.
was laughing that, okay,
Yeah.
here comes the thing again, that patience. Uh, but
Eh,
yes, of course,
Right.
it all makes sense now.
And think of it from an evolutionary point of view. If you're training your brain to think in this incredible, in an eternal context, you are also through emphasis saying, my life isn't short. And I think over time
Yes.
we'll change our DNA.
Yes.
But you have to have patience. If you're going to be an immortal, yes, if you're going to have eternal life, you better have patience. Otherwise, you're going to really suffer. Beena,
Hmm.
Beena, I was thinking of this, something I'd like to
Yes.
do. will you reread the whole chapter? But this time we'll read it from start to end, right? Just to finish. We've now done the discerning.
Yes.
Now we want to grab the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's try that.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Norma is here. It says,
Ah,
no,
that's all
Norma,
right,
it's not too
Norma.
late.
See,
It's
perfect
not too
timing,
late. We are going
Norma.
to reread.
Perfect timing. We're about to reread this, and it's very important. So absolutely no problem. I'm glad you're here, Norma. I'm glad you noticed also, Beena. That's too wonderful. That's too wonderful. That's too wonderful. Fantastic. Fantastic. All right. Good deal, Norma. Good deal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. So perfect timing, Norma. Listen, that we're going to reread this story, and it's this chapter. It's not a story, sorry, this chapter, and it's important. It's a very powerful chapter, and I'm glad you're here. All right. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I want you to hear this. Very important. All right. Please read, Beena.
Okay. Bigger mind. Need your advice on something. How best to view things like cruelty to animals. Dear Envy. Cruelty to animals is the external expression of lack of love. Those people don't love themselves and take it out on the world. The cruelty is a reminder from the universe or God for us to love ourselves. Otherwise, we can end up like that. I know God is important to you, so I'll share from that perspective. The way to deal with it, thus, is to use it as a lever to be better, to do better, to change, to love ourselves, and then be able to also love those poor people being cruel. With love, we can bear anything, even the cruelty to those poor animals. Also, that cruelty is the demonstration of God's incredible love for all of us, including the animals. How can this be a demonstration of supreme love? It is because God, universe, loves us so much that it is willing to let us be horrid and suffer horribly in order to learn the most important lesson of all, and that is that we do have a choice. Capital C,
We do
choice.
have choice, not a choice. We
We
have
do have
choice. It's a difference.
we do have choice.
Yeah.
Capital C, choice. True, real choice, which includes a choice not to be. We are not forced to remain alive, no matter how much our instinct may say otherwise. To be able to act against our instinct is a supreme accomplishment of awareness and choice. And also, most important, as instinct is an evolutionary dead end and goes against freedom. Thus, God loves us so much that God is willing to see us suffer in order to learn. If we see others behaving horribly and understand the horribleness, this saves us from needing to go through that experience ourselves in order to understand horribleness. If God removed that suffering, then God is also removing choice. And when choice is removed, so is awareness. And if awareness and choice are removed, so is freedom. God, of course, can only want the most absolute best for us, which is, of course, to also be God or one with God. And for that, we need awareness so we can freely choose, and thus it's all real and meaningful. If the choices aren't true choices and thus free, then nothing we are and do is real. So we have to be free to make bad choices, like being cruel to animals and ourselves.
Yeah.
Love beyond understanding. That freedom to be horrid is thus a testament to the incredible love God has for you. God is willing to abide horridness and cruelty and suffering, all because of that love for us, which demands the absolute best for us in the biggest picture possible. Our soul. Love for us, which demands the absolute best for us in the biggest picture possible. our soul context. In that context, in the context of eternity, a lifetime is a blip, a moment, and thus a moment's suffering is nothing compared to an eternity of moreness. So when you see cruelty and horridness, just keep that big, big, big picture in mind and ask, what do I still need to learn? What do we see as a species need to learn? What do we as a species need to learn? Do we need to change our entire paradigm to find replacement for the superiority paradigm, which so easily leads to such horrid behavior? How can I apply bonus living now? Biella. Heart, heart, heart.
Wonderful. Wonderful, 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 beautiful, beautiful. Norma, Norma, I'm keen to hear what you think. Does that make sense, Norma? Does that make sense? I love this picture. I love this picture. I love that there's a tree here. You know, trees are so magical. Love it. And plants. Yeah. And the waves, waves that become clouds. You see that, Beena? That's very cool.
Yes.
See, there they become. All the mourners, all the mourners. Yeah, they're stepping into eternity. Yeah, very, very cool. So I'm keen to hear what you think, Norma. I'm keen to hear what you think. Because I want to leave it there for today. I'm enjoying just reading the one chapter. This is very powerful. By the way, Beena, if you notice here,
Yes.
we're getting to just 2 more chapters to go. The last one is very long.
Okay.
I think so. Oh no, maybe no, it's not. No. It's in book 1 that it's long. Um, but what I want to do when we finish to this, I'm going to start all over again in book 1 and read each one chapter a day.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Just just from that point of view, that we can really zoom in and focus and double check and triple check and make sure it's understandable. And you know, I don't know, it just seems like a good idea. It seems appropriate. Norma, where you, Norma? Where you, Norma? I want to hear from you. What did you think of that? What did you think of that? What did you think of that? Well, maybe Norma just came and said hi and she had to go. Yeah. That's okay.
Okay.
Ah, okay. So we need to send Tasava the pictures and the price. We'll do that a little later.
Okay.
All right, Norma, please comment there anyway. I'll respond to the comments in I'll type responses because we're going to go now. So I think maybe Norma came and then had to go again. But that's all right, Norma. That's all good. I am keen to hear what you think of this. I'm keen to hear what you think of it. So even if you don't say now, maybe if you re-listen to it, let us know. Let us know. That's very important. I just, I just love this. In this chapter, it starts off, the answer, the response is so completely what we would not expect to that question, correct?
Yes.
Just, it's like, wow, wow.
What?
I'm just thinking that, well, I just love this, that it blows one's mind. But I'm almost thinking to move this chapter more to the beginning, even the very first one.
Okay.
It starts with, is false modesty a good thing? But I'm thinking that this might not be a bad chapter to start with. Maybe a bit radical for some. So, all right,
Yes.
leave it where it is. I'll
Yes.
trust. I'll
Not
trust
bad.
the.
Quite radical. Can be quite radical.
Yes. But it is a position that religions have held, but have struggled to communicate effectively. They struggle
Yes.
with this. They absolutely struggle. Well, because they're so into the superiority paradigm. And the superiority paradigm wants to insist it's all about me, 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 me. So they want to go more. They want to think larger context. It's all now, 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 now. Yeah, not ideal. All right. All right. On that note, any comments before we go? I enjoyed rereading it at the end, right? And I was thinking maybe, that we need to do this in the beginning, but we are so the way we read, it's very hard for us to read through to the end without discerning and
Oh, it
stopping and thinking
is
it through.
impossible. It is
Exactly.
almost
But
impossible for me because
exactly. But
any
it is
point.
possible afterwards. Yeah, so I think we'll do
Yes,
this from now on. We'll read it, do the capital R reading first, and then at the end we'll go over it again, just to consolidate it, right? And to
yes,
feel the article that way. But again, this reading and stopping, this is the way in the beginning it says to read these books. It's very crucial. It's very crucial. All right. On that note, Beena, anything more to share before we go?
okay. Just the ending note here that today's reading, like every single day, but it's an experience. I cannot
Yes.
actually share the moreness of it. Once
Yes.
only it is to experience that you have to really pay attention, because when I'm reading that, there is no other thought in my mind. It's not like I'm disconnected from everything. I am, of course, my family is
It's
here. Sometimes
immersion, in other words.
yes, sometimes I'm
Immersive.
eating also. I'm eating and I'm listening and I'm doing other stuff, pouring my tea and doing other stuff, but it's still. But the thought in the mind is this whole reading experience is so immersive for me. Like really,
Yeah.
it's I get so immersed into that. Not only that it is written in a very beautiful way, of course, this is also as someone who is reading going into such detail is again coming back to the same point with which I started today. The details and presenting and sharing the awareness in a precise or an appropriate manner is a big deal. Yes, it is not a textbook. It is not a fictional book also. Like okay, where you can take a liberty of saying things in a kind of careless way. You cannot just say things and go without
Exactly.
without really elaborating it, because people like me who really want to know that okay, why the instinct is the dead end, evolutionary dead end. Oh wow, it hits me big time. I really feel
Yeah.
that oh wow,
Yeah.
yes it is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but of course I cannot get rid of my instinct completely. But how to deal with it, how to be appropriate when it comes to this is the real understanding of it. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying that to really get the value out of it, to
Yeah.
come and read with us. Read with us. It is going to be really a life-changing experience
Oh
for you.
yes. Oh yes.
Once you get this, once you taste it, I would say that okay, once you taste it, you
Yeah.
can never go back again. Unless
Yeah.
or until you're really living in a instinctual paradigm still. Otherwise, it will be impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah. See, and
So
that
that,
made me think here now, right? That's
yes,
why I was going. The brainwave
yes,
or thought, idea, understanding. I want to add this as a chapter uh, to 50 ways of being smarter using opposite. Using opposite, actually. That using is in italics, it's emphasized. Yeah, so it's
yes.
50 ways to be smarter using opposite. And this is, where are we now? Chapter 54 already, Beena. Some may go ways. And the chapter is
Yeah.
titled, Do Not Trust Your Gut.
See, see,
Yeah.
this
Right.
is something I would love
Because there's the
to hear
practical
from you.
application of it, right, Beena? See, the brain is
Yes.
trained to be practical application.
Oh, this
That's
is
the
what I want to hear from you in podcast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. Again, the elaboration here is, but, isn't that good to, why not to trust your gut? it may be right most of the time. It actually isn't. But even if it is, it's trusting that instinct and it becomes blind. It's only going to be right because your gut is your instinctual understanding. It's only going to be right when the circumstances happen to be right. But should they not, then this traditional, old, regular way of doing things, it's no longer appropriate, and you're going to assume it is, and you're going to get into trouble. Not only that, but going with the instinctual idea, which is what your gut is, right? Your instinctual solution, instinctual application. Where's the creativity? Yes. How long did we not have flush toilets?
Yes.
And why not? The technology is there. Ceramics, it's ceramics. You can, if you made a ceramic pot back in the day, you could make a toilet, you could make a toilet bowl. There's no reason not to have flush toilets, none whatsoever. All it took was somebody to just figure it out. Yes. And the peculiarity of it is, it's just once you start with the intent to solve this problem, the solution is there. Yes, the U-bend is a very critical part of that, right? But that's just like, well, you've got a problem, how can I solve it? And when you start to think that way, the solution comes automatically. It's a duh. Yeah? It doesn't take much. But this is, again, instinct. You just, well, that's how you do it. You don't even think to make an effort to change. It's not our instinct. Instinct is about keeping things the same, not about improvement. Yes? Wow. Now that's a fine choice, a
Yes.
fine, noble quote. Yes?
Yes.
Yeah, he likes to say things in that condensed way. There we go. Instinct is about keeping things the same, not improving. It's so duh. And that's why I love to write these things down, because they duh, but they are profound, right? To understand. I'm almost tempted to put this in at the very bottom there, right? I'll leave it. I'll put it in somewhere
Yes.
else. But that's very powerful. That's very, very powerful. Yeah. No,
Yes.
yes, Norma. Yes, Norma. Sounds exciting, so it is exciting, Norma. It is. Actually, where does the flush go to? Well, in our world, it goes to the sewage system, right? And we don't even realize this. We are connected to every other building via the sewage system, right? It goes into a common sewer, but each pipe goes individually. But you could go from your pipe down into the sewer and then back up into another pipe. It means I'm connected, right? It's fascinating. We're connected like this. But in more remote buildings, it goes into your septic tank, which is just an underground storage for that stuff. And when you have the right combination of elements in there, it trying to think of the word now that it's called. Basically, all that sewage, it transforms itself. It becomes compost and manure and stuff, right? It has that transformative. It transforms. Now they do get full over time, and you have to make a new one. But if you do it right, you can incorporate it into the entire bigger system. Yeah, yeah, it's very powerful stuff. Very powerful stuff. Yeah, correct, correct. And then river, then sea. Correct. Yeah. No, no, no. I love this. Norma says, via pipework and drains, I suppose, then river, then sea. Is that why the water is salty? No, no, it's not. Actually, if you look at, it's just over time that the water has been, the salt has been washed into the ocean. There's actually when I lived in the desert, there was a dry riverbed there. Now that would once every couple of years, depending on how the rains were, that river would come down. And it rains in the mountains. It wouldn't rain there in the desert, but it would rain in the mountain. And then that river would have water in it, right? And maybe there's some underneath it, small amounts. But in that particular dry riverbed, there was one section of it which was just all salt. I mean, you could probably take out big cakes of salt, cut it up, right? Just like somebody dumped a truckload of salt there. And over time, though, it's hard, but over time, this is getting washed into the sea. Now, it's not enough to affect the river water taste, but that's where it ends up, and it has nowhere to go from the sea. But where the organic stuff that gets consumed by the sea creatures, and they transform it, they live off it, right? It's organic matter, sewage. It's all organic matter, and what is waste for us is food for something else, and it gets recycled. In other words, I mean, nature's the ultimate recycler, and that's why as long as you have the sewage doesn't over dominate the sea, it gets processed, right? But if you go near where the outlet pipes are, water's not very clean there. It's not very nice to swim in. But it's small compared to the larger ocean, so it doesn't end up being pollutive as that because of the ratio, the quantity. Yeah, and actually it makes for very fertile if you go to where those outlet pipes go into the sea. The sea life there is abundant. It goes crazy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I meant that the salty ocean is a something, a cleansing transformer. That could be that because salt is antiseptic. So yeah, but I think it's more that it just kind of happenstance that it came about, but it works, right? And it's very interesting that fish that swim in salt water, they can't exist in fresh water and vice versa, right? They have to adapt to it. But yeah, like I said, salt is an and like it's an antiseptic, so it really works for that. So yeah, and that's a good point, Norma. I think that's quite magical in a sense when you think of that. So who knows? It quite could be that from a creation point of view, if you are a world builder, you have to make salty oceans, but also you can't make fresh salty streams because it doesn't rain salt. When it evaporates, the salt is left behind. And that's how they make salt, right? They have these big flat pans, and you pump seawater in and you let it evaporate, and then the salt is left over, and then they harvest the salt. Yeah. So that's why you don't have, our rain is, and rivers aren't salty because it's raining fresh water. It doesn't rain salt water. Just nature and how it works, Norma. But that's very powerful. And we need salt, even though we don't like drinking salt water. We still have to have salt in our systems. Yeah, otherwise you get quite messed up when you don't have enough salt. Very important. And what
Yeah.
fascinates me is like the elephants.
Mm.
Fascinating documentaries to watch the elephants, that racial memory where they remember where the salt is in these caves, and because in that place where these particular elephants lived, or salt isn't commonly available on the ground. It's not easily readily available. So and then they go on these long treks, like once a year or once every wherever, on they go to these caves where the salt is. But it's a long journey that they make. Right, and they just remember this. It's that old memory of an elephant thing. The matriarch remembers it. It's fascinating to watch, absolutely fascinating. But what really fascinated me wasn't so much the memory, but the fact that the salt was needed just so, like once a year or whatever it was, that they made this trek out to the salt. And then also there's a wonderful movie that Norma, this is a movie I would highly recommend you watch if you haven't seen it already. It was a big movie like in the 70s, and it's called Beautiful People. Now there's a more modern version, but this one is about the animals, and you can still find it. It's made by a guy called Jamie Ace, UYS, Jamie UYS. And it's all about the magical animals out in the Namib, in this peculiar river that just it dead ends in the Namib Desert, right? It's just wonderful, right? So it doesn't go to the sea, it just dead ends there. But anyway, and in this, they show an example of the locals that want to find water. And the baboons know where secret water holes are, right? And they guard this, and they- they're very, very secretive about it, and they won't let you follow them to this water. So the people there that live there, this was in the Kalahari. I said Nama, but I meant Kalahari. Anyway, so they figured out a clever plan. So they make a hole in a like a tree stump, right? That's hollow inside. And in this, first the guy takes salt, little salt cubes, and he drops a trail of it, right? Because salt to the baboons is like candy. Absolutely love it, right? And because they don't get enough of it. So he makes this little trail, and he then to this stump with a hole in it, and he put a whole lot of candy inside there. Yes.
Mhm.
And then the baboon comes and eats it, and he follows the trail, and he sticks his hand in, and he grabs the candy. Yes. But
Yeah.
now baboon logic. It has this treasure, this absolute treasure. This is like you finding a handful of gold coins. And of course, when it comes to the hole, it can't get its fist out. And it doesn't let go. It doesn't let go. It just keeps stuck in it. It's fascinating, right? This mindset. And when we see this mindset and we see, oh my goodness, I know people who are like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's incredible. It is so, the baboon, the greed is so much that it allows the human to come and capture him. It won't let go of that hand. Won't let go of that, right? Now, now, this is the point though, and so now that he's been captured, right, and the the human lets him eat all that candy, and then now he's of course very thirsty. Now he can't have time to be secretive about where the water hole is, right? Because he's desperate. He's like super thirsty, and then the human followed him to the water hole, right? Just a way of finding these secret water holes. Yeah, it's just genius. But it's that whole movie is full of wonderful stuff like this. Did we watch this movie together, Beena?
Beautiful people.
Yeah,
Yes.
we did. I thought so. I thought
Yes.
so.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a movie one can watch again. It's just a wonderful movie. So I really highly recommend it. Yeah, yeah. I like this idea of Normus that the salt is the ocean is salty because it cleans all the sewage. Although, of course, back in the day, Beena, I mean, Norma, when they didn't have flush toilets, there was no sewage going into the sea. This is a modern thing, right? This
Yes.
this this is within like 200 years. I don't know when flush toilets started, but they you know maybe at the late 18th century, 1800s. I mean, not 1800s, early 1900s. I think early 1900s likely. At least where they were common, where there was sewage going into the sea. That's definitely a previous century thing, within 100 years. So that the salt wouldn't have come about because of that. Well, anyway, uh, very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. But that
Yes.
that that movie, Norma, I'll make a comment there in chat, to watch. Well, let me do it right now. This highly recommended movie for Norma. Especially about since this chapter was about dealing with cruelty to animals, right? Uh, you enjoyed that movie, Beena?
Yes. Yes, I did. Never seen these type of shorts before in any other movie.
No, no. And that movie, it's like if you look at the credits, by the way, I just love this. It was written, edited, filmed, everything is one guy.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
just too wonderful. It's just too wonderful.
It is. It is.
Yeah. It's like a young man would do something like that. Yeah. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Very cool. Very cool. All right. On that note, we will go. Oh, absolute pleasure, Norma. I put that name of the movie and by the guy so that you can just Google it. Yeah, I believe it was on YouTube, the last I thought. So just put that into YouTube, and I think that's where we found it. But it is available. It is available. And you love animals, and anybody who loves animals just absolutely love this movie. It's just too incredible. And that's why it's called, the name of the movie. It obviously is telling you the understanding. It's called Beautiful People, not beautiful animals, beautiful people.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right? So just
Not only that we have a
yeah.
misbelief, but also that okay, we have a misconception about
Right, right, right. Exactly. To understand that animals are people too, and I find that just too wonderful. It's just my understanding of it also. Just too incredible, too incredible. All right, that's too wonderful. I love it. I love it, and love you all too. Yeah, it's too magical. And just I was saying earlier to Beena, just to share what was on my mind a little bit here. I shared with Beena in this that. Uh, Love needs to be deliberate. Appreciation needs to be deliberate. Our tendency, our instinct is to normalize things, to make them ordinary. Yeah. And then you're just losing all this magic and the wonder of the love. But when we maintain our love deliberately, consciously, appreciating, enjoying, and connecting to what it is that we love, of course, we retrain the brain. We retrain the brain to emphasize, to take nothing for granted. I've heard this so many times from people. Ah, man, now that I don't have it anymore, I realize how much I took it for granted. And they're always very regretful. I don't want to have that. Yes. I mean, you can put on my gravestone, if there ever is one, never took
it.
anything for granted. Right, Beena?
Yes, yes. This is what deliberate living is, making
Exactly.
choices,
Exactly.
practicing capital C choices, making
Exactly.
capital C choices in our life. Because right there, just by investing a bit of energy there, we save a whole lot of energy of years in our life, like really years.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
eliminates regret, it eliminates
Exactly.
the confusion, the concepts we don't want, the
Yes.
situations and circumstances and people we don't want in our life. It eliminates all that. We take care of everything because everything is a deliberate choice. So we take full responsibility. Once we take full responsibility, we become in that moment. Just take full responsibility of your action and choices. In that very moment, you will have the ability to get a resolution of every problem in your life. Just right there. It happens with me every single time. I'm not saying solution, but a resolution. Yes.
Correct. Correct. Resolution doesn't necessarily mean solution. As very
Yes.
important as an act of discernment and of discrimination. We want to be discriminatory so that we can discriminate between solution and resolution.
Yes.
Discrimination has become a negative term, but it's actually not. It's inappropriate discrimination that's the negative. To apply discernment and to
Yes.
apply discrimination to discrimination. Yeah.
Yes.
So discrimination, the word discrimination is being discriminated against.
Yes.
I love that. It amuses me. It amuses me no end. All right,
Yeah.
all right. On that wonderful, beautiful note, we shall go. Our pleasure, Norma. Absolute pleasure and joy. Absolute pleasure and joy. I hope you enjoyed the chapter, Norma, because it's all about animals and cruelty to animals. Yeah. So, and there's a surprising response from Biella to this question. So, yeah, if you watch it again, I'm keen to hear what you think about it, Norma. All right, all right. Bye bye, Beena.
Yes. Thank you so much, Norma. Okay, even for a bit, just being here, this is really important.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
thank you so much, Syl, for sharing this chapter. Thank you so much, Biala, also, by just presenting the idea, the, the exemplification, being an exemplification of moreness and deliberate living. This is so wonderful. Before going, as usual, I would like to say that, okay, if you are watching us recorded there on YouTube and also in the Accessory group, please do click like, subscribe, and share and make a comment. If you have a question, please, we just love questions. Please do ask. It is by asking an appropriate or earnest question, you will help us to gain more value out of it. Every single question is a love note from the universe. It is a certificate you get that universe has more trust in you and your ability than you yourself.
Yeah.
So this is
Exactly.
wonderful. This is
So
wonderful.
wonderful, Beena. Yes,
Please
so
do
wonderful.
that because by clicking, liking, subscribing, and making comments on posts like this, of course, and not only to us but also to the other posts like this, you will help to train the algorithm for the bigger picture that you are going to share that this is what we really want in our life. This is
Yes.
because they do say that, hey, whoa, we are making films like that because people want to see that. No, not necessarily. They say that, okay, we are writing books like that because people want that. No, you can create a liking and also choices if you really provide them a replacement. This is what replacement is. This is not a conventional podcast. This is not a conventional live, or this is not a typical conventional session. This is where we are practicing capital R reading. In this capital R reading, just this concept can be life changing and life transformative for many. So please do that. By training your algorithm, you will help your future generation also, because you are going to insist on that this is what we want more, or something like this we want more in our life, not the just nonsense videos to scroll and losing your memory and attention span. Also, you are going to
Oh,
pay attention, you are going to share and enhance that. So thank you so much for being here. See you guys tomorrow at the same time, same place
yes.
again. Bye
Yes.
for now.
Yes. So in other words, like, comment, share to change our culture to a
Yes,
Moreness culture.
yes,
Be a
yes,
part
yes,
of the culture revolution.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
All right. Bye bye,
Bye bye.
everybody. I'm going to end and then start again.